All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to one of the random streaming events that's happening in the off-season. It's an exhibition. This is actually an interesting exhibition because it's kind of been like promoted as like what the Laver Cup would be if it was men and women. Like it's a very Laver Cup vibe. And it's a little preview into what it could look like if the ladies were included in the Laver Cup. It's called the World Tennis Continental Cup. Team Europe versus the world. Now you might be thinking, wait, isn't Rybakina European? No, she's not. Because Kazakhstan is somewhere in Asia, apparently. So, no, Rybakina is not from Europe. She is from Asia. A part of Kazakhstan, right? That's why she's on the opposing team. Kazakhstan is in Asia, exactly. So, yeah. So, that is why we just had Wong taking on Bencic. Bencic won. Also, Rublev and Kabul. Well, Rublev's on Team World, which, again, Russia. It depends. But he's in the world as well, which is great. So, that means next Laver Cup, we can have Medvedev. Team World can have Rublev, Bublik. Bring everybody. Like, I don't know why Medvedev played for Team Europe back in the day. They obviously got it wrong. He is not European. He's world. So that is what this is. If you're watching what I'm watching, you would think this is Laver Cup. It is very. I wouldn't say they ripped it off, but they definitely copy pasted a lot of aspects of this. This is definitely I'm not saying that they completely went, hey, Laver Cup, but we'll call it something else. I'm not saying they're doing that, but it's Roger's going to make some calls. I'm sure Roger's on the phone going, hang on, what are you doing? If Roger's watching this, then that would be, he's thinking, hang on, why is the court grey? What are we doing? Blue versus red? World versus Europe? What are we doing here? What are we doing? What is this? He's probably he might watch this and think, hey, I didn't remember this being on. What year was this Laver Cup? Bencic won, yes. Russia counts as Europe because Moscow is in Europe. Russia counts as whatever the hell they want it to be at the time, all right? So today, Russia is Asia. All right? It literally looks like Laver Cup. Yeah, look. It's not far removed. They've got a mascot, that's different. And it's not called the Laver Cup, so that's the difference. Also, ladies are playing, so it's not Laver Cup. But I like it. I think it's an interesting... this is, again, like I said, as a joke, I was, this is Laver Cup if it included ladies. It would kind of look like this. So you've got Swiatek, Bencic, Kaboli, Vachereau. They're all playing for Europe. And then you've got Rybakina, Wong, Rublev, and Zhang are all playing for the world. So basically, China, Russia versus Europe. That's what it is. But I'm glad we could watch this because I was interested. I really wanted to see this matchup because Swiatek Rybakina has always been a good match. It's always been a tough matchup, and even exhibition matches feel meaningful when they play. It doesn't feel like this is a nothing match, even though the player that loses will claim it as nothing. But this does matter. These matches do matter for these players. Rybakina, the WTA finals winner. Swiatek, one of the favourites of the Australian Open, might have to play Rybakina in the Australian Open, which would be... So it feels real. And these ladies aren't the type... It's kind of like Pegula versus Anisimova in like those Miami and tournaments, right? When we watched them a couple of weeks ago. Yes, it's an exhibition, and okay, you don't have to like take it seriously, but it feels like this result will show us something. Like we'll talk about this match if it's close, or if it's not close, whoever wins, we'll talk about it if they play again in the future. Especially if they play in Australia, we'll go, hang on, remember when they played in December? So when you're talking about exhibitions like that, then they matter. So we'll see. We'll see if Swiatek or Rybakina, by the way, has to kind of win because she's kind of on the back foot in this rivalry lately. Swiatek's been winning all the matches. So if Rybakina was to win this match, it would definitely go a long way in her confidence against Swiatek, because she's been on a losing streak for 4 matches in a row. So to beat Swiatek for Rybakina is kind of a big deal, even if it is an exhibition. We said that when they played at the WTL in 2022, I believe. Yeah, we did. And look what happened. A month later, Rybakina beat Swiatek for real. So yeah, it does have that kind of, definitely has that that 2022 World Tennis League, even though was that a 3-set match? I think it was. And Swiatek went down 2-2, and we're like, whoa, okay. And Rybakina then did it again in Australia a month later. So it does have that kind of vibe. Yeah, definitely feels like this definitely has, they're not going to be mucking around. This is going to be for real. Swiatek doesn't want to lose a match to Rybakina ever, and Rybakina kind of needs to win. So this is going to be fun. At least it's not one set like the WTL, right? Well, the WTL 2 years ago or 3 years ago was best of 3. WTL changed it recently. But when they played in that WTL match, it was I think it was 6-2, 6-2. It was a very one-sided win. And then a month later, Rybakina did the same thing, but in a Grand Slam. 6-4, 6-4. So, yeah. So, it's going to be fun. This is going to be interesting. Now, because this feels like a real match, we're going to treat it like a real match. I'm going to talk about the head-to-head, because the head-to-head is very, very interesting. Rybakina kind of owned this rivalry for a while, but then Swiatek's won the last couple. So 5-6 or 6-5 in favor of Swiatek. But that's only been recently that Swiatek's been able to get the win, Swiatek had a winning streak until they played in the WTA finals, where Rybakina lost the first set and then smoked Swiatek 1 in love. So maybe Swiatek needs to win, because that WTA finals match that's painful. But Swiatek had won 4 matches in a row up until that point on all different surfaces, 2 different surfaces, hard courts and clay. It had been almost. Last year they played 5 times and it was 4-1 Swiatek. So Rybakina wants to get the win to keep that, to at least keep the memory of that WTA finals smoke show alive. That's not the word, but you know what I mean. And Swiatek kind of wants to eliminate that by at least getting this win, so she can forget about that 6-1, 6-love, demolition after a first set. Is this serious? I saw some bookmakers put odds on it. I thought it was a normal game. Well, it's an exhibition. Don't bet on exhibitions. That's crazy. Exhibitions, don't put money on exhibitions. You might as well burn it or flush it down the toilet. Or give it to charity. Do something useful with it, But when it comes to this does have some, it definitely has more meaning than most of the exhibitions we've watched this year or this month. I think the Pegula and Issimova matches, they were definitely noteworthy. This is noteworthy. This is definitely noteworthy. Whoever wins this match, write it down. Because if they play again in a month, we'll refer to this match as something to keep an eye on, especially if Swiatek gets the win back. If Swiatek wins this 2-2, that's huge. That's a huge win for Swiatek. If she loses this match and Rybakina's won the last 2 going into next year, that would be crazy. So yeah. I see a red ball against my name. Yep. Thank you, Shashank, for sticking around. You've been around for a long time. That's why you have a red ball. Yeah, if Rybakina wins this, it's unofficially... Well, she's actually... Rybakina's won a couple of exhibitions against Swiatek, so... She already... the head-to-head is interesting. We're just waiting for the players to come out of court. If Rybakina wins this, she levels it up for Team World. After Bencic won for Team Europe. Don't worry, we won't talk about the cricket. If you're sitting in the corner and you're wondering if I'm going to talk about the cricket, don't you worry. Today will be played art. Will be played art called what? I'm confused. What are you talking about? All right. I have no idea what stadium they're playing at. They're playing in Shenzhen, which I think is where the WTA finals used to be played. Right? Didn't like in 2019 they played in Shenzhen? Or am I crazy? I'm still on holiday. No, I'm a genius. All right, sweet. Yeah, they played in Shenzhen. Not this. I don't think they played at this arena. Or maybe they did. No, they didn't. But in 2019, they used to play the WTA finals here. In this city. Not in this venue, but the city. So there you go. There is some history. They're not on court yet. We're just waiting for them to arrive. That is showing an outside shot of Shenzhen. Try saying that 10 times. I like the stadium. I'll tell you, having been to China, they definitely create very interesting buildings. In fact, I went to the Bird's Nest when I was in China, in Beijing, and I got a lovely lunch. And then people try to sell me pearls. It's very strange. It's a very weird tour. Tiananmen Square, Olympic Village, Pearl Factory. Don't know why that. And then I went to the Great Wall, and that was very windy. All right. What in the chat have you been to China? Rybakina walking out first. I have no idea who the coaches are here, but it doesn't really matter, I don't think. This year, Billie Jean King Cup was in Shenzhen. Oh, there you go. There you go. All right, Rybakina versus Swiatek. Rybakina smiling, happy, and having a great time. Let's see if Swiatek is looking as jolly. Oh, and they mocked up her name. They said Swiatek. That's not her name. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. So yeah, so we got this match. We're not watching much. We're not going to watch any of the other matches. Well, we might. We might watch Swiatek versus Wong. I think that's in a couple of days, maybe, depending on. Just depends. But we're watching this, and then on Sunday, we have Kyrgios Sabalenka. I don't really want to watch that though, but to be honest. Does anyone actually want to watch Sabalenka versus Kyrgios? Is anybody actually keen? Does anybody care? I feel like that is being made like the biggest match of the offseason. Like that is becoming like, for some reason, that is becoming the biggest match and the must-watch match of the. And I'm like, that's not the must-watch match. Alcaraz played Fonseca. This match is much more important. The controversial match. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't hear anybody saying, oh, I can't wait to watch that match. But maybe people are and they're just not saying it. Or maybe people are saying it, I'm not listening. Feels like a lose-lose for publicity, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Yeah, I'm torn. I'm like, do we watch it? Why would we watch it? What's the point in watching it? Is there any reason to watch it? Does anybody... If you guys want to watch it, we'll watch it. That's what I'm asking. Like, I've watched many matches that I didn't really care for, but we'll watch them anyway. If you want to watch it, we'll watch it. If you guys don't want to watch it, then I'll see if we watch it, because I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of like... Do I need to watch it? Swiatek's like, what is the mascot doing? He's facing the wrong way. Okay. What is that mascot? It's like Kenny from South Park with a Sonic the Hedgehog outfit on. What is that mascot? It's wild. I really don't get what they're trying to do with this. I don't see a real purpose. Yeah, I'm I think the point of it is to promote tennis. I think that's what the overall goal is for that event. But for the future of tennis, I don't think it makes any difference. I didn't even know this match existed, but this match, is existing. And this is a very important match. By the way, this mascot is blind. They cannot see through that costume. The guy in there is just, or the girl or guy in there is just kind of like staring into a black void, and they're like, I don't know where I'm walking, but I guess we'll go this way. That Sonic the Hedgehog is in trouble. Nah, they're warming up, and then we are going to get this going. We want mixed doubles similar US Open? Do we? Who wants that? Who wants that? Who wants that? I just really like whoever loses that side of tennis or the worst reputation. It's like a bad idea. I hope I'm wrong, but that's just how I feel. Yeah. It's weird because like I've listened to a couple of things, like, because I don't usually watch like other like tennis stuff because I like to keep my own. Like I don't like to be influenced too much by like others' opinions. Like I don't watch Andy Roddick much because I don't want to just parrot what he says. Sometimes I'll say things that like maybe he has said as well, but I don't want to like, when you like listen to things and then you kind of like find yourself not saying what they're saying, but kind of like it changes what you think, right? You kind of like, it influences you. I try not to like watch other stuff because I don't want it to influence what my natural opinion is. But I do, when I'm confused about whether or not I like something or don't, like if I'm like this battle of the sexes thing, right? I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. I'll listen to some other stuff and go, what are people saying? Just to get like a bit of a, like what's the word on the street about this thing? Like, what are people thinking about it? What are people saying about it? Because I'm kind of like, I don't know. Is it good, bad? I don't know. I haven't heard anything positive. Like, I haven't heard anyone really say it's a good thing. There's a lot of bad things about it and a lot of reasons why it's not great for the sport and not great, especially for women's tennis. It seems like could be a step backwards, but I haven't heard anything good about it, except from like Kyrgios and Sabalenka saying like, yeah, it's great for tennis because it's, whatever. Yeah. But I haven't heard anyone who doesn't have a vested interest in it talking positively about it. So I don't know, and I can't think of many positives. Besides it's getting a lot of publicity, which might be good for tennis. Will that convert into people watching more tennis? I don't know. But we'll see. We might watch it in a couple of days. If Sabalenka wins, is that the better result? Is that if she wins, is that good? Is that the better? I don't know. Or if Kyrgios wins, will that be better? I don't know. What's the best outcome for tennis? Because I don't know. I know it's just a bit of fun. Yeah, I know it is just a bit of fun. But I feel like people are going to take it seriously. And then that doesn't make it fun. Like if it's like, the outcome is very important, then I don't know. Let me know in the chat. You interested in that match? This is the match that I'm most interested in. Because this match could be the semi-finals of the Australian Open in a month. Like in a month's time, we could be watching these two play on Rod Laver Arena on a Thursday night. This could be the Australian Open semi-final, and we're going to be talking about it tonight. And this result, when we watch them potentially in that match, right? This could be the semi-finals of Australia, which would be totally understandable because these two ladies, two of the favourites, right? I still don't know who was going to win the Australian Open. Is it Sabalenka? Anisimova, Rybakina, Swiatek. They're the Coco, right? They're the 5. Or is it going to be Andreeva? Maybe Keys does it again. Pegula, can she win it like Melbourne? Osaka, but these 2 ladies are in that mix, right? So a match like this really does matter. At least it will maybe make things slightly clearer. Like, okay, well, last time they played, this happened, so maybe, could be a quarterfinal, exactly. It could be a quarterfinal. I hope it's not, though. I hope it's a semi. You know what I want to see as a quarterfinal? Gauff versus Rybakina, winner play Swiatek. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. I want to see Gauff, Rybakina, winner play Swiatek. That's what I want to see. All right, here we go. Swiatek versus Rybakina. Even though it is not a real match, it is fun. I don't think they're going to be smiling. This match is basically a preview into the Australian Open. I don't think they're playing any tournaments against in the same tournament. I think Rybakina is going to Brisbane. Swiatek's going to United Cup, so they're not going to play before the Australian Open. This is the only time they'll play before Melbourne. As Rybakina serves an ace. That is exactly what she does. All right, 15-love. So I don't know who's going to win this, but the result definitely has some purpose. All right. As Swiatek returns the forehand to Rybakina, that's a good inside-out forehand. Swiatek gets it, and then Rybakina puts it away, 30-love. And the scoreline matters, right? It's, if Swiatek or Rybakina win in a very close match, that's interesting, and that, obviously we'll write that down and we'll note that. But if one of these 2 players demolish the other one, that is telling, right? If Rybakina wins this match 2-1, right? Or vice versa. If Swiatek wins this 2-2, we'll go, okay, wow, okay. Maybe Swiatek, Rybakina needs to avoid Swiatek, right? As Rybakina hits out, 30-15. So those who are tuning in right now, you are going to be smarter for watching this match. At the end of this match, you're going to know things that others don't because they didn't watch this and they didn't pay attention. So also, take that to the bank. Drop shot from Rybakina is too good. This court is bouncing weird. There are some really low bounces. Anyways, 40-15. Good drop shot from Rybakina. And when you go to work on Monday, you could be like, you know what? I watched this match between Swiatek and Rybakina, and they're going to go, I didn't even know they played. And you're going to go, yeah, real fan. You're a real tennis fan. You tell the office that, all right? One love. You can be like, yep, Rybakina, Swiatek. I watched it. I know what I'm talking about. You're the real fan. All right. 1-0. I think it's either US Open or Australian Open or Rybakina next year. I don't know about US Open. I don't think Rybakina's never done well at the US Open. She has never done well in America or in New York. Maybe Rybakina Sabalenka Australian Open final. That could be true. That is possible. All right, Swiatek to serve. As the return goes into the forehand, Swiatek, forehand from Rybakina. Into the forehand, Swiatek, Rybakina backhand. And Swiatek backhand goes long, and it's love 15. These 2 are playing very, very serious. AO and Wimbledon, most likely for Rybakina, yeah. I concur. She shouldn't be underestimated at the French, though. She's not terrible on clay. I just think the reason why she doesn't play well in New York, I think it's just because by the time we get to that part of the year, she usually has run out of gas. Anyway, but this year she played well until the end of the year, so I don't know. Anyways, that goes to net by Rybakina. It's 15-0. But yeah, New York, she's always gone to New York and lost. For whatever, you would have thought she would be able to play there, but it's just, I guess, that point of the year when, players get tired. 15-0. First serve is a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand Rybakina. Return the forehand Swiatek. Rybakina forehand. Into the forehand Swiatek. Again, the forehand Rybakina goes down the line. But Rybakina hits it out in 30-15. By the way, if Swiatek does win the Australian Open, she will complete the career slam. Everybody's talking about Alcaraz being the youngest player to do it on the men's side, but nobody yet has mentioned, that I've heard, Swiatek completing the career slam. And she was 1 point away from the final this year. 2 years ago, she made the semi-finals and lost to Collins after playing some very tough tennis before that. But Swiatek winning the Australian Open, she can complete the set. Nobody's mentioning that because maybe nobody realizes that. And to say Swiatek wins the Australian Open is not a weird thing to say because she is in the mix, 1,000,000%. She might need to avoid some players on hot days, but Swiatek can win the Australian Open. She can. If she can win Wimbledon, which I thought she wouldn't win for a while, she did that kind of easily too. Swiatek can win the Australian Open, which means she'll have all the slams and be undoubtedly the best player of this generation. There's a bit of 400 rally. That goes out by Rybakina, 40-30. No doubt. Like, Swiatek wins 4 out of all 4 slams and gets the career slam. I don't know who was the last player to do that. Probably Sharapova or Serena. If Swiatek does that, she is undoubtedly the best player of this generation, unless Coco or Arena are able to do that. Because even if Sabalenka somehow got more slams than Swiatek has all 4 slams, automatically you're better. I don't care if Sabalenka gets 10 slams or Swiatek gets 8. If she's got every slam and Sabalenka doesn't have all 4, instantly better. Double fault, by the way. Talking too much. Chat, do you concur? If you have a career Grand Slam, but you have less slams than someone ahead of you, let's say someone else has 2 slams more, is the person with 8 slams better than the person with 6, but they have all 4? Let me know. Because I think if I would take less slams, but complete the set, than have more slams and have 1 missing. But also, that's just how I like to collect things, so I'm a completionist. Maybe it's it's just me, maybe. Tough question, actually. Yeah, I wonder if there's a good example. Do we have a good example? Is there players like Sharapova has 5 slams, but has all of them, and then who has more slams than her, but doesn't have all 4? Anyways, advantage Swiatek. Backhand goes into the forehand of Swiatek. Forehand now from Rybakina goes long. And it's 1-0. Yeah, see, look, it's hard to say, would you rather be Agassi or Sampras? Because Sampras had way more slams. Plus, Sampras had the most slams. Yeah, so would you rather have... That's actually good. Venus or Sharapova? So would you rather be Sharapova with every slam or Venus with... a couple more, but of the same? I'd probably rather be Sharapova. Just for slams. I'm not talking about all titles and whatever. I think Sharapova, I would rather have every slam. 1 of every slam than 7 of 2 or whatever. There's probably no right answer. There's no correct answer. But I would rather have every slam ahead of especially when you got 5 and 7, you're like, it's different if you've got 10 and 20, right? Or 14 and 8 or whatever Sampras and Agassi had, right? But when it's 1 or 2 different, I'd rather have all 4. I think Sharapova. Because how hard is it to win on every surface too? I mean, you could win a lot of slams at one place. But Sharapova winning on clay and winning on grass and in between, right? I mean, that's not easy. It might be easier now that the surfaces have changed, but Back then, it was, that wasn't easy. Clay and grass was so different. 4-4 rally. Swiatek in the net, 30-all. What does Sabalenka have? Sabalenka has to win two. She has to win Wimbledon and the US, right? Court conditions here. It seems pretty slow. As Rybakina serves the fault, second serve. Definitely Sharapova or Venus for you. Okay. Again, like I said, I don't think there's any wrong answers because if you're like, nah, I'd rather have 7 slams like Venus, fair enough, right? But I don't know. There's something about like having all 4 slams, completing the set. I don't know. There's just something that like draws me to that. Like I'd rather have that than 2 extra slams but missing one. Like missing a slam would annoy me. I don't know if I could. I mean, look, I've won 0 slams, right? As that goes out by Rybakina, is that a break? It is. Swiatek breaks 2-1. 2-1. I think there's a challenge. I don't know if it's going to help. Apparently, you can challenge in an exhibition. Challenge in an exhibition. That is a wild thing to do. I'm going to challenge in this fun. By the way, okay, we gotta make a determination right now. If this is the Laver Cup rebranded, is this an exhibition? Because if this is meant to be the Laver Cup, we shouldn't be calling it an exhibition because the Laver Cup is not an exhibition. So, but this doesn't count towards the record, so that's where the exhibition side comes in, right? Like, what makes the Laver Cup for real is that it's worth a win over the other person. It's an official win. It's an official, win-loss record, right? Whereas this, Laver Cup's an exhibition. Shut up. It's not. It's real. This doesn't have the stakes of that. Like, the head-to-head doesn't count. It doesn't go towards their permanent record yet. Maybe this tournament becomes Laver Cup 2.0. Maybe this is look, they're going to have to probably get some different colors because Roger's going to be on the phone saying, you can't be doing this. This is not Laver Cup? Okay. Also, the difference between this and the Laver Cup is that this doesn't have the same team vibe. Like, there is no one watching Swiatek from her team. It's just a coach and her. So they don't have, like, the bench. Like, they don't have the support like they do in Laver Cup. It definitely doesn't have that same vibe. 2-1 Swiatek with the break. But this is an exhibition until it becomes it's an official win to somebody. That's the difference. That's what makes Laver Cup real. All right. But this is as close as we're going to get to, like, at this stage, Women's Laver Cup. All right, serve into the forehand of Rybakina, return into the backhand Swiatek, Rybakina backhand, into the net, 15 love. 15 love. These players don't do fun tennis. This is serious. I agree. Like I said at the start of the stream, this is not a practice match. This is like this is not a meaningless match. It's definitely a practice, but it's not an irrelevant match. The winner of this match, we need to take a mental note because it does matter. This is definitely a preview into the Australian Open, and a win is important for both these ladies against one another. 30 love. I'll tell you what, Bencic Rybakina, which I think is happening in a couple of days, that is also a very interesting match because I don't think people are picking Bencic to win the Australian Open. But if she's able to beat someone like Rybakina, who's a serious contender, that goes a long way for Bencic too. I think if Swiatek beats she's playing Wong, who she's beaten love and love before. But if she loses to Wong, I don't think it matters that much. But Bencic also has potentially an Australian Open defining match against Rybakina. Because if she's able to beat Rybakina, that's a huge deal. And remember, Bencic is like 11 in the world. She's not like 50 in the world. She's like brink of top 10, right? All right, 3-1. Swiatek as Rybakina hits a good serve, and it's 15-love. Benji had an awesome comeback here. Oh, yeah, she was great this year. And she's very close to top 10. As Rybakina serves an ace. 30-love. Love. And there's a default second serve. And as the return goes out by Swiatek, but was that? Yep, it was a good serve. 40-love. 40-love. A bit of serve again. And the return goes back into Rybakina forehand. Swiatek. And as Rybakina forehand goes long. And it's 40-15. Oh, we're getting another challenge, are we? Okay. And it was out. We're back into burning through challenges. As Rybakina hits that forehand long, and it's 40-30. Bench is underrated. I agree. By the way, Chad, if you haven't filled out the form for predictions, make sure you do that. It is somewhere on the channel. Oh, 40-30. Also, chat, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I did watch Stranger Things today. No spoilers. As that goes out by Rybakina, okay, we're at deuce. She went from 40-love to deuce. This is not good. They played best of 3, but it's a final set tiebreak. So if it's one set all, they play a 10-point tiebreak. Something tells me that these two ladies are not going to lose. They're not going to play I'll win the first set, you win the second, we go the distance. I think these two ladies are trying to win straights. Swiatek gets a lovely backhand winner. Advantage Swiatek. It's for real. This is a real match. Finally watched Home Alone this year. Yeah, I watched Home Alone last night. The only movie I didn't watch this Christmas was Elf. It's the only movie I missed out on. I watched Christmas Vacation, Grinch, as we're backing into winter and we get to deuce. Home Alone, The Holiday. What else I watched? Surviving Christmas. Something else. But I missed out on watching Elf. And I only realized that when I saw an ad for it today. I was like, I didn't watch that. Oh. I'm rooting for Vecna. What? All right, forehand rally. There's a forehand slice from Swiatek into the forehand Rybakina. Swiatek with the forehand again. The forehand Rybakina. It's a drop shot, but it's not great. Swiatek gets with the pickup, but Rybakina volleys it in the net. Oh, man. Rybakina played a good point. She just was too far. She wasn't close enough to the net to put away the volley. Advantage Swiatek. I wanted to be there for the Christmas party yesterday, but I saw it when I was going to work. Yeah, it was a bit of a last-minute thing, but that's why we're here now. I'll be here in a couple of days to watch other matches. Who's my fave top 10 player? Currently? I don't know. Good serve Rybakina, and we get back to deuce. I don't really have one favorite. I don't really have a favorite. As a backhand return, Swiatek into the forehand Rybakina. Swiatek forehand again to the forehand Rybakina, but Rybakina in the net. Advantage Swiatek. yeah, I don't have a favorite in the top 10 currently. Advantage Swiatek. As the backhand return goes into the forehand of Rybakina. Up goes a lob by Swiatek. Rybakina lets it bounce and hits a smash. Swiatek gets it back there with the backhand, but hits it wide. We're back to deuce. I'll say this, though. I definitely like watching Swiatek win Grand Slams because I think that I love, like, I know that she is the best player of this generation, at least currently, right? As Rybakina hits it forehand long, so I love watching greatness. And Swiatek will not. I don't know what it is. I don't know why she doesn't get any. Like, she doesn't get as much. She needs more credit. She deserves more credit for what she's already done. It's not going to be until like she wins 10 slams that people are going to go, oh, wow, she's actually really good. Like, people are sleeping on Swiatek's success right now. It's crazy. Swiatek gets to advantage. And Rybakina hits a wide. We're going to double break. Like, Swiatek winning Wimbledon, right? Not just the way she won Wimbledon, but her winning Wimbledon in general. After not playing well at all for like a year, and then winning the slam that I don't think anybody knew, right? Anybody thought she would win. I definitely didn't have her pick in Wimbledon for a while. Like, she does that. She's got 3 out of the 4 slams. She's won 4 out of 5 French Opens. 4 out of 6 French Opens now. Right? Like, she is the French Open queen still, even though she lost this year. Like, she's not far away from Australian Open. She's going to complete the career slam. But people are just not, like, are just sleeping. Like, nobody's awake to what this is. It's like we're watching something that doesn't happen very often. Swiatek is 1 Grand Slam away. In 30 days, Swiatek could have the complete set, and we're talking about her being one of the best players of all time, or at least on the road to best player, one of the best players of all time. I'm not saying the best. You have to get 15 plus slams to be top 5. But again, I feel like people are just completely. And I'm not saying Swiatek fans. You guys are counting every match she wins, but I feel like the general public are just not appreciating how good Iga Swiatek is and how good she's been so far. Like, what she's accomplished so far is ridiculous. And it should be celebrated more.
Do you think Sabalenka, despite her consistency in slams, is underachieving by not winning as many? 1 in 2025 was disappointing.
Thank you, Stephen, for the 6. Yes. I think Swiatek and Sabalenka should be neck and neck. Like, they should be equal on slams. Sabalenka should have at least like, what's Swiatek got? 6, right? Sabalenka should have 6. 6 or 7. Like, to be honest, she should have more than Swiatek. It should be Sabalenka, Swiatek battling it out for best player of the generation. But right now, it's Swiatek. Now, that could change in a couple of months, right? It could be, Sabalenka's sneaking up, but Sabalenka is older, and she's been around longer. Okay, I said 6 or 7 or 8, all right? 7 or 8. Is that better? Jesus. Anyways, 15 love. So after saying all those things about Swiatek, I also do root for Coco Gauff as well, because I think Coco gets so much unnecessary hate. I don't know why people don't like Coco Gauff. I don't know what she did to make people not like her or not go for her. But when she won the French Open, I picked her for the French, so that made it even better. But when she won the French, I was like, good, thank God, because she is better than 1 slam, and people need to realize that. And she gets so many. I don't know what it is. I don't know why people don't like Coco Gauff, but for some reason, she gets so much unnecessary hate towards her. And her winning a slam this year at least shut people up for a little bit. And I like it when players shut people up. So I'm always rooting for Coco to win stuff too, because I think Coco could also, win the Australian Open or complete stuff. I kind of want to see Swiatek versus Gauff in the final of Australia. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe have like a Rybakina Swiatek or Rybakina Sabalenka Gauff. No, actually that wouldn't work. What, like Sabalenka Gauff Swiatek Rybakina semi-finals Australian Open, winners play each other. That'd be fun. All right. Anyways, Swiatek's dominating 5-1. Like I said, this the result of this matters, and this is a statement. 5-1. No worries. See you later, DJ. And do the serve in the back of Swiatek. Return goes back into Rybakina. Swiatek forehand is long, and it's 15-love. I hope that we finally get a final between Swiatek and Sabalenka at a Grand Slam. Yeah, the cursed final that never going to happen. I think they've been 1 point away from meeting in the final like 3 times. I need Fonseca to silence the haters next year again. Yeah, look, if you are, I know this is so cliche, but and such like a cop out. But if you're hating on Fonseca and you don't understand how good he is, and you're looking at his rise this year and going, he's overrated, you are silly. If you're looking at what Fonseca did this year and you're like, yeah, he wasn't that good, you're blind. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't want to see it. You're trying to say that to make yourself feel better. Just admit it. He's good. He's him. Fonseca's not that good. Okay, if you're comparing him to Roger Federer or Rafa Nadal, those guys are better. Those guys have had a better career than Fonseca. But Fonseca is a great player, and he's got a great attitude, and that's half the battle. He's got a great mentality and a great. I'm overhyping him. You're missing out. You better jump on the train, because if you're going to look silly in a couple of years when he turns out to be everything we said he would, and then you're going to go, oh man, I should have listened to that random guy with the glasses. By the way, 15-30, Swiatek is dominating. Rybakina is making a lot of errors. Fonseca is him. Like, he is going to be a factor. And if you don't like that, that's just too bad. You're going to have to deal with it. 15-30. It's about 4 down the line. Into the backhand of Rybakina. Swiatek back in the net. And it's 30-all. It's because Fonseca's a threat to people's favorites? Maybe. No, I don't think everybody who doesn't like Fonseca or says he's overrated is scared of him. They're not saying it out of fear. I think people genuinely think he's not good. It's like, well, what part of his game is not... Like, I don't get it. When you watch Fonseca, what part of you looks at him and go, yeah, I don't think he's going to be very good? Because every time we watch him play, he's phenomenal. Like, he doesn't do anything that I'm like, yeah, he hit like 30 double faults today. That's probably not good. Like, he doesn't do that. Like, I don't know where, like, what are you seeing? What are you watching? Like, when you watch him, what do you see that's like bad? Like, I don't know. Every time and maybe it's because I'm a fanboy and I'm like, everything he does is the best thing I've ever seen. But like, if I was not so biased, I don't see where the negatives are. Yes, okay, he makes errors sometimes, like a lot of errors sometimes. That's just excitement and youth. Like, he's just excited to be there, and he's overhitting the ball. And when he reins it in a little bit, and he controls that powerful game, what the hell is that going to do? That's going to scare the crap out of everybody. Power zero brains, yeah. But when he matures, he's a teenager, he's an excitable child in tennis terms, right? He's an excited kid. He's like happy. He's excited to be there. He's overhitting because he's just a little bit overexcited. He reins it in a little bit, matures a little bit into that guy's going to be so scary. He's going to be so scary. Fonseca Demon was a good match. Oh yeah, so physical too. Fonzie needs a semi at a slam, he'll get there. Don't you worry. Fonseca will get to a slam semi. Probably, I'm patient. So as the head of the Fonseca, as the self-appointed head of the fan group of Fonseca, I'm being patient with him. I'm not going, hey, he's going to make the semis of Australia in a month. Maybe he will, but I'm going to be we're realistic. We know he's going to get there eventually. And for me, personally, as I speak on behalf of everybody who's a Fonseca fan, without their permission, he will get there. We're being patient. We're not telling you that he's going to make a Grand Slam final next year. We would love it if he did, but we're not saying he's going to do that. He's going to get there eventually, though. Let's focus on Swiatek's current game. Sorry, it's just when the matches are one-sided, we deviate. Anyway, 15-0. Swiatek is kicking ass. As it a return now from Rybakina. Goes long, and it's 30-15. Oh, we're getting another challenge, are we? Okay. Oh, it was in. All right, so they're going to replay the point, I think. Cam, do you think Fonseca will be a multi-Grand Slam future champion? Again, I don't want to put that on him because that will ruin the fun. Anyways, 4-4 rally. That goes in the net by Swiatek. We're at 15-40, by the way. That was overturned and it mucked up my scoreboard. Yeah, I don't want to say like Fonseca's going to be this or that. I think he will win slams in the future, but he'll win a slam in the future. But I don't want to be like, I don't want to focus on like he has to do that and then I'll start being excited. I want to watch the journey of Fonseca is going to be just as fascinating as him winning a slam. So I'm going to wait. I'm just going to enjoy the ride as the return goes out 30-40. You know what I mean? We're just going to enjoy the ride and watch Fonseca rise up and prove people wrong and do what he was born to do. Win Grand Slams. But we're, again, patient. We're patient. We're gonna wait and see. We're not gonna. No point. We're gonna we're gonna enjoy every win. All right, 30-40. Break point. Rybakina. Swiatek goes to the forehand. Rybakina. Forehand. Swiatek on the stretch. Forehand down the line from Rybakina. Swiatek with the backhand. Rybakina gets it back with the backhand cross court. Great shot. Swiatek slice. Goes long. There's a break back. By the way, no smiles have been cracked today. No one has smiled. Rybakina smiled when she walked out on court. And then she sat down and everything was super serious. Tim Tams are pretty nice. They're delicious. They are delicious, aren't they? Fonseca's a one-dimensional player. Yeah. With a slice return from Swiatek. Into the forehand of Rybakina. I think Rybakina put that away. Yep, 15-love. By the way, I just want to ask to the person who's like really trying to, and I get it. You don't see what I see in Fonseca. Fair enough. Are you a fan of somebody else, though? Which player are you, like, I feel like there's one fan group. It's already starting to happen, and you know that you're a good player if you've already got another player's fan group up against you and hating on you and having a rivalry already. But who do you think out of the next generation guys under 21, who is your favorite? Because I'm interested to know. Because usually the people that are like, I don't like Fonseca, straight away they go, I like this guy. Or this other guy. Because there's two guys that like are in his generation, right? I mean, they're all the next gen finals if they weren't injured. I feel like there's a lot of fans that are not on Fonseca's side because they're fans of the other guys. Like Lerner Tien. Hey, that's a good example. 15-30. 30-15, sorry. Yeah, Tien fans don't like Fonseca. I don't know why. 30-15. Rybakina slowly getting back in this. And it's a bit of serve again. In the backhand, Swiatek returned the backhand of Rybakina. Sliced and wide. 30-all. I like Tien, by the way. Tien and Menchik, I am fans of as well. I'm just more of a fan of Fonseca. I think Fonseca has the highest ceiling of the bunch. As that goes in the net from Rybakina, we're going to set point 30-40. By the way, I think if it's deuce, it's sudden death. Oh no, hang on, no. It was advantage, wasn't it? We had a deuce point before. So no sudden death, it's advantage. Yeah, Menchik, I think, turned 21 this year. As a default, second serve. Or isn't Menchik 19? No. He turned 20 this year, right? Yeah, Menchik is under 21. As a backhand return. Into the backhand of Rybakina. Forehand, Swiatek sliced. Rybakina on the attack comes to the net. Swiatek with the pass. Rybakina with the volley. In the net. There it is. Swiatek takes set 6-3. Rybakina's volleys have always been a problem. Or not a problem, but they've definitely been her weak spot. And Swiatek with her top spin. Passing shots that are very awkward for even the best volleyers are easy against Rybakina. Hey, what's going on? Menchik's 20. There you go. Yeah, Rybakina's net game is definitely a weak spot. She has gotten better, though, to give her credit. She has definitely gotten better, but still a weakness. Hey, Fly, thank you for the 36 months. That's 3 years. Thank you for the 3 years. Almost top 10 and not even 20 years old, 10 plus slam winner for sure. Let's just relax. New color ball, yeah, thank you for 3 years. Oh, Menchik turned 20 in September. There you go. I think if Swiatek improves her drop shot, slice, and net play, she will do so much better. She already has such an amazing... She's already amazing, but can do better. Yeah. I think Swiatek's got a great drop shot. I mean, she's hit some really great drop shots tonight already. Her net play is not bad. Her slice is okay. I think we all know that that Swiatek, her biggest weakness... or her vulnerability, right? Maybe not weakness, but she's vulnerable when she's playing big returners or big hitters and her first serve isn't going in. That's why Wim Fizek came in and, changed her game to make her a bit more aggressive, right? On the serve, which, let me have a look at her stats this year compared to last year and see what her serving stats look like this year. Because let's see if it actually how much bigger her serve was this year. So Swiatek this year, she double faults. Good timing. Love 15. She hit 243 aces, 235 double faults, so almost 1 for 1. Last year, she hit 128 aces and 105 double faults. So she doubled both categories, which, is not great if you're doubling your double faults in a year, but if you're doubling your aces, she's still going 1 for 1, almost, like a little bit over 1 for 1 double fault for one ace, but that just shows the aggression of her serve has increased, right? Because she's hitting a lot more aces, but she's also going for more on serve, which is forcing more double faults, right? So she's definitely playing bigger and riskier on the serve, which is rewarding, but also has, come at a cost for double faults. Her first serve points won this year, first serves in, 61% this year. Last year it was 66%. She's still 69% of first serve points won, so nothing, it hasn't really changed there. Service points won this year, 61%. Last year was 64%, which is interesting. Break points saved, 66% last year, 7% this year. And service games won this year was 76. Last year was 82%. So you could argue that even though she's hitting more aces, she's making more double faults, her serving stats haven't really improved. Like some of the important categories have stayed the same. She serves an ace, perfect timing. Like her first serve points won are the exact same as last year. She did play an extra 12 matches this year, so I mean that, keep that in mind. But yeah, her service games won from last year to this year lower. She's won less service games this year. She's saved less break points this year. She's won less service points this year. Her second serve percentage is lower, so she's won less points on second serve. She has almost the same points on first serve, and her first serve percentage has gone down because she's trying to hit bigger first serves and she's making it more. She's missing more. So you could say that her serve is, yes, it might be a little bit more aggressive, and maybe that helps in some of those some of those stats that we don't see. But I don't know if you can say that her serve's gotten better statistically. It's yes, more aces, but more double faults. Maybe it's like more like serving against her. You have to return better. Maybe that's the takeaway, that this year her serve is not as, like for players like Rybakina, it's not as easy to get the returns. But when you're looking at the stats, her stats haven't, across the board, haven't really changed. She's winning less points on serve than she was last year. She's winning less service games than she was last year. So, yeah. As Rybakina puts away the forehand, 30-15. So, yeah. This year was the first year with her new serve. Next year will be more accurate. Yeah, well, next year, now that she's had a whole year of serving, like playing this way, next year, this year she can refine it, right? So 2026, she can, try and limit those double faults. And because if the goal for her serve this year was to hit more aces, she definitely accomplished that, right? If next year is like, okay, we've got the aces, now let's limit the double faults, and then maybe the percentages change. So that's a good point. Maybe we give it next year, we see whether or not her serving stats have improved again, and then that way we can kind of make a better assessment. 40-15. Swiatek returns a forehand of Rybakina. Forehand from Swiatek is Rybakina forehand. Winner, and it's 1-1. I wonder what her returning is. Has Swiatek's returning gotten better or worse than last year? Because that was like before her serve this year has beefed up. Her returning and her rallies were that's where she was dominating, right? She was dominating. She'd get the return back, and then in the rallies, most of the time, even against the big hitters, she'd be able to rally well. So this year, her percentage on returns, she won 47% of return points. She won 44% of return games and 51% of break points converted. Last year, she converted 46% of break points. She was at 44% of games, return games won, and 48% of return points won. So slightly lower on the return points won, but higher on the conversion of break points. And I'll tell you something interesting, psychologically, what beefing her serve might do. So, and I'm not I'm no psychologist, but I just play one on TV. But if your serve is seen as more dangerous and bigger, right? Swiatek's serve has gotten bigger this year. I think we can all agree by her improving on her ace count has improved, right? And even though her stats might not have improved, she still has a bigger serve. I'd love to know how much more power. Like, what's the average speed on first serve and second serve compared to last year? Because that's the stat I want to know. Because I think that really does matter. Like if Swiatek's hitting harder serves this year, then that's going to be more difficult to return. So when I say psychological on returns, the players that play against her when she's serving big probably feel more pressure to have to hold because it's harder to break Swiatek than it was last year, right? Because last year, Swiatek was maybe serving softer and getting broken more. But when Swiatek would hold this year, or even when she would, serve this year, her breakpoint conversion rate was higher. Maybe this year, maybe it was more, there was more nerves from the returners because they knew that it wasn't like, well, if I get broken, it doesn't matter, I'll just break back. Swiatek's serve being a bit beefier this year, maybe that those assumptions were a little bit, maybe Swiatek's serve was a little bit more dangerous this year, which forced players to, feel those nerves down break point more so against Swiatek this year than they did last year. Just a theory. 2-1, Swiatek holds. But yeah, next year we'll get a better idea of if her serve, because the ace count's improved. So if that was the goal, it's definitely her serve has gotten bigger. All right, 2-1 Swiatek. You can be doing the talking at the same time, changing the score for us on the scoreboard, please. Yeah, I could do both. Or I could do one. I'll try. Don't worry. I heard that she added about 10 kilometers on her serve. Well, that's, yeah. I would love to know the stat, though. I don't know if there's any info out there. But yeah, if her serve is more aggressive and bigger, then it does force her opposition to have to, serve well too, because, her serve has become more dangerous, which, 12 months ago it was less dangerous. Am I making sense? Is anybody understanding what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Did I explain that well? I know what I'm trying to say. I think what I'm trying to say is makes sense, but I don't know if it actually makes sense. Anyways, 2-1. You make sense. Okay, good. All right, good serve down the tee from Rybakina, who has the best serve on the tour. I don't care who you are and what you say. She's the best server on the tour. She has 500 aces. Third player to do that in the history of tennis on the women's side. Best server in the world. As with a serve in the back, Swiatek return goes back to Rybakina. Rybakina in the net. Or does Swiatek hit it out? Rybakina hit it in the net. 15-0. Rybakina has the cleanest serve technique. So simple and effective, yeah. It is a very no-fuss serve. It's throw the ball up and hit it. It's effective and, yeah, technically, it's just such an easy, effortless shot, right? That she hits a forehand winner 30-15. Like there's no nonsense, right? 30-15. As we get a return wide by Swiatek, 40-15. Will we get a final? But will we finally get Gauff Rybakina for worst versus best serve in the WTA? I don't think Gauff has the worst serve in the WTA. She definitely doesn't have the worst serve. How do you win a Grand Slam with if you have the worst serve? You know what I mean? Like, how do you win the French Open if your serve is the worst of the WTA? I'll take Gauff's serve and winning a French Open. Call me the worst server on the WTA, but I'll take the French. I'll win titles. I'll take the French Open. I'll take a Grand Slam and be labeled with the worst serve any day. 40-30. Her serve can't be that bad. I mean, she won one of the 4 biggest trophies in the world. I mean, if Gauff's the worst serve on the WTA with a Grand Slam, what happens when her serve gets better? Does she win 3 slams in a year? I mean, holy shit. You know, like if Gauff's serve gets better and she's labeled as the worst server on the WTA and she won the French, if her serve improves slightly, if she cuts her double faults in half, she's going to win 3 slams next year. Like, how good is Coco Gauff by winning a Grand Slam but hitting 400 double faults in a season? I mean, that is incredible. That is a scary thought. Like, you know, like, if Coco figures out that serve, she's going to be unbeatable. Like, that's going to be scary. A Grand Slam winner this year with the worst serve. Her serve gets slightly better. She's going to win 2 slams next year. Like, watch out. No, 15 love. And the backhand return goes to the backhand of Swiatek. And Rybakina again to the backhand of Swiatek. Into the front of Rybakina. Swiatek again to the front of Rybakina. Lasage to Swiatek. Rybakina backhand cross-court winner, and it's 15-0. Do I play tennis? I used to. I just don't have the time anymore. I used to. I just don't have time to go out there and shank some forehands. 15-0. $15 with a serve again from Swiatek. There's an ace down the tee there. Good timing. Let's talk about serve. 30-15. Tells you how weak the field is if they can't stop Coco winning slams with a rubbish serve. That's a very negative attitude. All right, 30-15. Swiatek serves. Into the forehand of Rybakina. Swiatek backhand to the forehand of Rybakina. Into the forehand of Swiatek. Rybakina forehand again. He's a winner. 30-0. Oh, Rybakina's starting to hit winners. Exactly. Plus, I think fixing her serve is a lot easier than whatever is up with Steph or Zverev. To me, the mental side is harder to fix. I agree. I agree 100% with that. A technical flaw is definitely... it's probably mental as well for Coco a little bit as well. But, yeah, I mean... Coco fixing her serve is probably a lot easier than Zverev or Tsitsipas fixing whatever they got to fix. You know, their mentality to beat Alcaraz and Sinner or whatever. You know, 30-40. Again, I take Coco. I take Coco's career and game over a lot of other players. Plus, Coco's got the attitude to change. Like, if Coco had a bad mentality and these things were happening, I would be like, man, how's she going to change that serve? But Coco has, like, mentally and also defensively, has one of the best games. As Rybakina hits a winner. But mentally, Coco is a beast. So, you know she's gonna put in the work to try and figure it out. She's not just going to, you know, cry about it and you know, not do everything she can to get better. She might get upset by it, but she's not going to, like, let that define... Like, she's not going to let that stop her, you know? She's not going to give up on herself. She'll fix it somehow. And that's much harder. I mean, would you take... I mean, it's hard to say at this time because Andreeva hasn't got any slams, but I feel like right now, and Andreeva's got time to improve, she's young, but Andreeva's game or Coco's game, mentality included... You got to go, like you would go with Coco because you can fix the serve, but fixing the attitude, that's the hard part. And at the moment, Andreeva lets herself down sometimes with her attitude, right? Whereas you can, you know, it's a lot easier for a coach to come in and try and fix a serve than it would be to try and fix somebody's, how they perform under pressure. But it's hard to compare the two because Goko's had more time and Andreeva might be, like, who knows, maybe in 2026, Andreeva, you know, matures one extra year and that's like a game changer. and she doesn't have those moments in matches where she gets annoyed, and she gets she throws rackets and stuff. But yeah, but it's hard. I mean, it's also tricky too because the serve is there's definitely a mental side to the serve too. As Swiatek gets a smash and it's love 15. Like Coco's problems aren't just technical. You've also got to. It's serving under pressure, but the way that she doesn't let herself down. Well, she doesn't get too down on herself. And plus, she's still winning slams, which is like she's doing something right. Love 30. This has been played in China. Tennis is tough to play properly. Kudos to Swiatek. You started this summer. Oh, nice. We'll enjoy. 2026. I'm gonna go play some tennis. I haven't played tennis because I've been too. This year, 2025 has been. It's been a lot. So next year, I plan to go out and actually play some tennis. See if I can still do it. 15:30. I'm not gonna play any tournaments or any crazy shit, but just go outside and hit a ball. See if I can still hit a ball. I used to be able to hit a ball. 15:40. As with a fault, second serve. Second serve. The backhand Swiatek, good return. Rybakina gets back. Into the forehand Swiatek as Rybakina forehand again to the forehand Swiatek. Rybakina again to the forehand Swiatek as Rybakina forehand down the line. Swiatek with the backhand, passing shot winner. Go back on serve. Beautiful shot by Swiatek. And we are at 3-0. Back on serve. Again, Rybakina coming to the net. That has been... That in this match definitely has not been a good idea. All right, 3-0. I played tennis the other day. I was so rusty. Yeah, I haven't played tennis for a while. I haven't even gone out and hit with the ball machine. But next year, there's a slice from Rybakina to the backhand of Swiatek. Rybakina backhand into the backhand of Swiatek. Is Rybakina backhand again? Is a drop shot, but Swiatek's going to get it and hit a forehand winner. Not a bad idea, but Swiatek's just too quick. 15 love. By the way, why does Caboli have a bubble gun? He's got a plastic gun that's blowing out bubbles. Caboli, I'll tell you, chat. Caboli is slowly becoming the ultimate team player. He won the Davis Cup for Italy when Sinner decided to just, take a vacation or whatever. And Musetti decided to have a child. Selfish much. And then Caboli had to step in and be the guy. And he filled those shoes like they weren't even here. Nobody missed them. Caboli he took over and he was like, yeah, I'm the best player now. And he won it for Italy. Berrettini helped, but Caboli was the reason why they were able to do it. He set them up. And then he was like the number one cheerleader at the Laver Cup. He was doing backflips and doing crazy shit at the Laver Cup. And now he's here with a bubble gun. Caboli is Mr. Team. He is Mr. Team Man. I don't know. We're going to figure out a better name. It's a work in progress. But he is the ultimate team player. I don't know what we're going to call him, but we'll figure it out. 30-15. Caboli is is it a team event? I'll play it. I think he's also playing, isn't he playing the United Cup? He's the ultimate team player. If you're in a barroom fight, you want Caboli on your team because he is loyal. He will be there in a pinch. Yeah, he is playing because, again, Jannik Sinner rather go to South Korea and go play an exhibition than go represent his country. Caboli's fine, I'll be the best Italian man. He's playing with Paolini, and they'll bloody win it because Caboli's there. He's the difference. Caboli is the good luck charm. Yeah, he is. Caboli is Italy. Anyway, it's 30-all. Caboli's great, by the way. I'm glad that he's doing well. He's got such a I love his he does have that like Fanini type of vibe. Like he definitely he loves to win, but he also doesn't seem to take himself too seriously. Like he does have that kind of flair. Like the Fanini flair. I like it. He's not, he's not boring. I can tell you that. He's not boring. 40-30. Now Swiatek goes to the slice of Rybakina. She hits a drop shot, but it's in the net. And it's 4-3. Swiatek. Like I like Caboli. Like Caboli last year was so much. Well, this year was so much fun to watch. I'm excited to see Caboli next year. I don't think he'll be top 10. Or you know what? He might actually sneak into the top 10, but I don't think he'll be in the top 10 12 months from now. But Caboli's probably going to be. I think he might finish between 10 and 15 in the world. If he stays healthy. Like he is so much fun. He is so much fun. Sinner and Mercedes fans coming out of hiding. Yeah, I'm just poking the bear. Don't worry, Sinner fans. I was just kidding. By the way, Caboli's on his phone, so I mean, don't do that. It's Christmas. Why is this tournament even taking place? Because it's Christmas. This is our gift from Santa. All right. Swiatek with the lead. 4-3. By the way, Chet, what did you get from old Saint Nick? Did everyone get what they asked for? What did you guys get? Get any good gifts from Santa this year? I actually got a really cool gift from Santa. Now, don't think just because I got this doesn't mean this is who I picked as the big three favorite, but this is pretty cool. That's pretty sick. Deb, are you jealous? How cool. I love the colors. How sick is that? I love it. Also, my brother made this. It's like a magnet. All right. Hundreds of dollars of gift cards. Perfect. Gift cards? A lot of people get gift cards. Santa wasn't very creative there. He's just giving out gift cards. My husband and I agreed no gifts for us, just for the kids. Nice. You mean Santa agreed that you wouldn't be getting presents? 15 love. Watercolor set. Nice. Is it a 4-4 in rally? Rybakina again, the 4 to Swiatek, but Rybakina hit it out. It's 15-0. Got a t-shirt that said, "My wife makes great choices because she chose me." Not sure if that gift was more for me or a reminder for me to go with her when she chooses. That's funny. As a default second serve. Amazon gift cards. I got gift cards. Super Mario Galaxy. Nice. As a backhand return from Swiatek and the backhand of Rybakina. Swiatek backhand on the stretch. Goes in the net. 30-15. Smartwatch with some clothes. Nice. All right, 30-15. My family doesn't do holiday until next weekend, so I won't know till then. Oh, okay. Well, make sure you tell us, Tim, when you find out. Is it a 4 now from Rybakina? That's a beautiful shot. Open court winner, 40-15. 40-15. Rybakina serves again. A fault. Second serve. Into the 400 Swiatek. 4 now from Rybakina. Swiatek backhand. Into the back of Rybakina. Swiatek forehand cross-court winner. It's 40-30. Tickets to the Australian Open, I was going anyway, but now I've got even more. Nice. Will they play a super tiebreak if it's Rybakina wins a set? Yes. It'll be one set all, and they'll play a 10-point tiebreak. What surface is this? It's on a hard court. As the backhand return goes to the front of Rybakina. Forehand Swiatek. Into the front of Rybakina, who hits it in the net. Okay. We get the deuce. We get the deuce. As we get the deuce. We're back in the serves again. A fault. Second serve. Into the forehand of Swiatek. Forehand from Rybakina down the line. Swiatek's there with a slice. Rybakina comes in with a volley. Swiatek pass. Too good. All right. Advantage Swiatek. And Swiatek's getting the crowd involved. That was a great shot. Rybakina played a very... Caboli has got the bubble gun. He's blowing it into the crowd. Mr. Hype, man. Rybakina didn't play a bad point. That was a good approach. Not a terrible volley. And then Swiatek, just great passing shot. That was just too good. And then Caboli just like... shooting the crowd with bubbles. The serve now, the backhand of Swiatek. Find out for Rybakina, and then Swiatek in the net. We get the deuce. Caboli missed the cheerleader. Where do you have Caboli next year, chat? Where do you have him in your, like, where will he finish in the rankings, do you reckon? Like, whereabouts? You don't have to be, you can be exact. He'll be number 13, Cam. Mark my words. If you want to, but where do you think? Because I'm thinking he's going to be closer to the top 10 than, like, he'll be close. Like, if he finishes at 12 or 11 in the world, I'd be like, yeah. I wouldn't be shocked. It probably does help also having having Musetti and Sinner doing well to inspire him as well. Anyways, backhand down the line is a winner by Rybakina. She gets back to deuce. This match is on the line here. 15-20, you reckon? Okay, 20-30. I got him close. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just like him, and I want him to be like close to the top 10. But I like his attitude. I wonder, do you think he'll get a win over Alcaraz or Sinner next year? He feels like a type of player that would, like, the way that he goes about it, he might just have a blinder of a day and get a win over, like, an Alcaraz or a Sinner, like, in a shock upset. Seems like he has that sort of game and that attitude, right? That, like, no fear, where he could just, like, rip the ball for winners and then shock, not in a Grand Slam, but, like, in a 500 event. Like, surprise, or maybe even a 1,000, just sort of like have a crazy day and, maybe catch one of them by surprise. Maybe not Sinner. It's more likely Alcaraz that he could surprise because he has played Sinner. Didn't he play Sinner this year? I don't know. But I don't know. I think Caboli, if he's on, that could be dangerous. As a return goes in the forehand, Rybakina. Forehand out from Swiatek off the tape. Rybakina can't get it. And I think that was the break. All right. Swiatek's going to serve this match. Oh, he played Sinner in Vienna. He pushed him to a tiebreak in second. I thought that was the case. I remember we did watch him. All right. Swiatek's going to serve this match. I'll tell you, 3-3 is a very nice win. Remember the last time they played was at the WTA Finals where Swiatek won the first set 6-3 and then won one game after that. Lost 6-1, 6-love. Where Rybakina annihilated her. So this definitely helps in restoring, at least, maybe not restoring confidence, but more than burying that memory. Right? I mean, forgetting that loss. Getting a win like this is a great way to forget the last time they played. And next time they play, if they play in Australia or whenever in the future, Swiatek will remember this as the last time they played and not that strange scoreline in the WTA. 15 love. Low-key, Cam adores Iga. We all know that by now. She's the player of the generation. I mean, she is the player of this generation. And I am a fan of greatness. As we're back and return now to the back of Swiatek. Swiatek gets it out. It's 15-0. Swiatek winning more slams, adding to her greatness, is only good for the sport. 15-0. That's a bit of fault from Swiatek. Second serve. I know this doesn't count towards head-to-head. But mentally, it does. Because even though it might not be on the WTA website, it's not like it didn't happen. Right? It might not be officially recorded, but they're not playing silly. These two ladies are playing for real. And Swiatek will leave this match, if she does win 2 more points, claiming this as a win. And I don't think Rybakina is going to... Rybakina hasn't been playing like it's not a real match. She's not playing left-handed or hitting underarm serves. 30-15. The ball kids have not touched a racket this entire match. As the return goes out by Rybakina, 40-15, Swiatek's got match points. To give Europe a 2-0 lead, more importantly, to beat Rybakina for the 5th time this year, 5 out of 6 times she's beaten her. The only time that she lost was that WTA Finals match, which was just so strange. The scoreline was so strange. As she serves down the tee, the back end of Rybakina, slice return goes short. Swiatek with the forehand, Rybakina with the pass. Swiatek volleys it away, and that's the win. That is a real win, too. That win means something up here. Cobolli is using all the bubbles out of the gun to celebrate that win. But that, mentally, that is a huge win for Swiatek ahead of the Australian Open. Beating Rybakina after losing in a very strange match a couple weeks ago, as Cobolli just keeps blowing bubbles. And Swiatek's like, great job. Cobolli is... he's like... Swiatek's like, good match. And he's just kind of like, with his bubble gun just blowing bubbles everywhere. It's an exhibition, mate. There's 2 types of exhibitions. There's exhibitions, like Sabalenka versus Kyrgios, and then there's exhibitions, which are like this match. This match was for sure an exhibition, like a serious exhibition, just like Pegula and Anisimova a couple weeks ago, when those two were playing like they were playing for real. This was played for real. The good thing for Rybakina is she can leave the court and go, okay, I have some things to work on. But for Swiatek, this is a big win. Like she'll be talking to the coaches, going, okay, good. What we did today, it worked and all that stuff. Like she's going to be taking this home as a big win. Rybakina, though, she can use this as a way to, she can look at this and go, okay, how do we not let this happen in Melbourne in a month? It wasn't looking like an exhibition, to be honest. It looked like a normal match. Yeah. Exhibitions are when the ball kids play for a point and somebody hits an underarm serve or a tweener or there's jokes and laughter. None of that happened. There was none of those shenanigans. What a great word. No shenanigans today. This was real. Swiatek and Rybakina always play serious? Yeah. Only Sabalenka seems to be the player that plays exhibitions like an exhibition. She's the only one who actually goes, like, that we've watched this month, where she's gone into a match and she's like, this is an exhibition. I'm going to hit an underarm serve. I'm going to hit a tweener. And I'm also going to let the ball kid play our entire game because I don't care. It's an exhibition. It doesn't matter. She's the only player on the women's side that doesn't actually take these matches very serious. But she's also the best player on the planet, so she doesn't need to, right? It doesn't matter if she loses an exhibition. Sabalenka doesn't care about these matches as much as the rest of the tour do, apparently. See you later, Deb. Thanks for joining. What are we watching tomorrow? Probably nothing. I'm going to go watch Anaconda at the movies. I'm going to go watch Paul Rudd and Jack Black in Anaconda. That's what I'm watching. Full review the day after. I don't even know who's playing. What matches are on tomorrow? There's it's some doubles matches tomorrow, but yeah. Players are tired. Yeah, I'd say Rybakina was sweating up a storm. I wonder if the humidity in the stadiums were up there, because even though it's winter in China, they were sweating. Is that a remake of the old Anaconda movie? I don't know. I don't know if it's a remake or a sequel. I'll tell you tomorrow. All I know is it's got Paul Rudd and Jack Black, and they're hilarious. So I'm nothing better than a silly movie that has no point. Like, it's one thing to watch a movie and have to, like, think your way through it, or it's like, you know, got some, like, relevance to real life. But then every now and again, you just go to a movie where it's like, you know what? I'm just going to watch two funny actors run around a jungle chasing a big snake. That has it doesn't matter what happens. It's going to be shenanigans and hilarious. And I'm all for it. Mindless, numbing hilarity. I'm going to laugh, and I'm not going to leave that movie with questions about life. I'm not leaving that movie thinking, well, I don't know, maybe it is a political drama that's wrapped up in a comedy. I don't know, but I went and saw Running Man. That movie made me sad after it. I was like, oh, that movie was too close. It was good, and I was like, oh, but seriously. Ooh. It was a little too Black Mirror for my liking. So tomorrow I'm going to go watch a movie that's about, I don't even know, it's about an anaconda. So a very poor performance from Rybakina. Best player won. Yeah, Rybakina didn't play great. She and again, like I said, this is a match that this is like Swiatek, good win for her. Good win for her to get, especially after what happened a month ago when she lost badly to Rybakina. So that's a good win for her. And Rybakina putting in a bad match, that's not good. That is not a good thing for her. You know, a bit of a wasted opportunity. Any Christmas movies? Yeah, I've watched a lot of the classics this Christmas. The only movie I didn't watch this Christmas was Elf. But I watched all the others. In 2 days, Bencic, Rybakina, Alex and Mirra. Yeah, we'll watch. Also, Battle of the Sexes in 2 days, so we'll watch something. WTA Finals was indoors as well. Yeah, I mean, this match was also indoors, so interesting. If I want to think, I'll read a book. When I go to the movies, I want spectacle. Yeah, fair enough. Who do I think will win the AO? No idea. We give to you a gift of plums. I don't know what that means. Is that a quote of a movie? Or is that what does that mean? I don't know what that means. All right. By the way, we didn't say this during the match, but good crowd. They've had a good crowd there. You know, I know it's an exhibition, so you'd hope they'd have people there, but we've watched a few exhibitions over the time, and it's been the stadium hasn't been that full. So good turnout, which is nice. Yeah, pretty good turnout, as it should be, because it's two of the top 5 players in the world. If Swiatek wins the Australian Open, that'd be a career slam. Yeah, we'll talk about that earlier. They were there for the Caboli antics. Yeah, I want to be there for the Caboli antics. He's fun. I think we need to see the WTA draw before any reasonable predictions can be made. Yeah, I'm leaving it to the last minute too. By the way, Rybakina, 3 double faults. Swiatek had 4 double faults. Rybakina's first serve points won, though, 58%. Also, 16 break points Rybakina faced. Swiatek broke 10 out of those 16 times. That's crazy. Did I say Rybakina had the best serve in the world? I didn't know. I stand by that, but today was a bad serving day. Terrible serving by Rybakina today. Caboli plays tomorrow, I think. Will Zhang be playing in Australia? At this stage, yes. Caboli Rublev, I think it's tomorrow. Picking an arena to win the Australian Open? Nice. All right. I'm out of here, but thank you for joining. It was a good match. I'm glad I could find I wasn't sure if we could watch it, but I'm glad that at the very last second I somehow found a way to watch it. So I'm glad we could watch that one, because I feel like that match is very important. We're gonna reference this match when we watch them play next year. More if they play in Australia next year, if they play at the Australian Open, we'll definitely talk about this match. If they play in Indian Wells, maybe it'll be too far removed. But this match definitely, if they do play in Melbourne, we will be talking about this match and the result and what happened in this match when we're talking about that match if they do play in the future. So definitely glad we could watch this one and get a little bit of an insight, because Swiatek last time they played got kind of got smoked. So good fight back from her. And also gives Team Europe the 2-0 lead. Or 2-1, yeah, 2-0? Yeah, 2-0 lead, so that's good as well. But Merry Christmas if you're late celebrating. So thank you for joining us. We'll be back before the end of the year, so don't think this is the last stream of the year. We will be watching something in the next couple of days. Like I said, we might watch Kyrgios Sabalenka. I don't know if I want to watch it. I don't know if you want to watch it, but we might watch it. It just kind of depends on where I can watch it and what time it's on, because that if it's on at 2 a.m, I don't know if I'll watch it. But we'll definitely watch at least one more match before the end of the year. And then, of course, the season starts on the 2nd of January. This time next week, we'll be watching real tennis. Wow. This time next week, we'll be watching real tennis matches. I think on day 1, it's Osaka playing as well. So, but thanks for joining. Hey, Tori, thank you for the 6 months. Appreciate that. I'll see you guys later. But Swiatek in Europe, they take the lead. Well, they are in the lead in this World Tennis Continental Cup.